Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome, Careza. Welcome, Kyler in the Oregon coast. Everybody say where you're from. So exciting. Look at all of you here. This is the best. Look at you all. I don't know if y'all feel this way, but seeing your names, I just feel like we're all in a big room together, which is so fun. Raheem, I see you want to speak. I would love for you to type what you want to say in the chat. Hi, Mark from Sydney. Awesome to see you. David from Michigan. Awesome. Aaron in Oklahoma. Ryan in Indianapolis. Raj in Buffalo. Okay, Mark's originally from Long Island and on vacation in Australia. That sounds wonderful. We will let you share those vacation vibes with us, right, guys? That sounds wonderful. Sten in Tallinn, Estonia. Look at you rounding us out with this international sophistication here. Thanks for being here. Okay, there's so many of y'all here tonight. I love seeing your sweet names. Lynn from Houston. Wonderful. Yes, and many more of y'all. I'd love to hear where all y'all are from. I see you, John, and Gello, Chris, another John, Joshua, Gary, and then Raheem, Sean, another Sean. Let's see who else. Nathan, two Nathans, Ari, fantastic. I'm so happy that all of y'all are here. We are going to have so much fun. We have so much to cover. Oh my goodness. And this will be freeing for y'all. That's my intention, is that y'all just feel freed up to do these great things, connect with great women in your life. Ari says, hi. And can you tell me how to pronounce your name, Gello or Jello? I'm going to go with Gello. Tell me if I'm right. And Syracuse. Sean in New York. Great to see you. Raheem is in Georgia, right next door to Alabama, where I am. Greetings over the state line. Wonderful. Oh, good. Okay. Well, I'm excited to hear more from you all as we go, because I'm going to be asking y'all some questions throughout. So let's dive in. We're going to talk about how to approach that beautiful woman you see in your day-to-day life with confidence. This is live. This is interactive. I'm Sarah Jones, founder of Introverted Alpha, and I can't wait to have fun with y'all tonight. Okay, so here's what's on tap for tonight. First of all, how do you know whether a woman is open to you approaching her or not? That is key information. It helps you to feel comfortable. So we are definitely going to cover that right off the bat. Then we're going to get into a 4-step approach sequence that you can use. Okay, this is what we share in our in-depth coaching programs. You're just getting it tonight. You're just getting all those steps. It's going to be awesome. You can rest assured that you are knowing what to do. Then we're going to talk about what to say. Topics that always work and feel genuine, because guys, don't you want to have a genuine connection with a woman? You don't want it to feel weird or forced or to feel like a pickup artist situation, because it kind of is one. We want to avoid all of that and connect in a genuine way, right? And you're going to learn why being an introvert is an advantage. And I have a fun story to share with you all about that, which will be exciting. Yay for story time. Then we have a 3-step process to eliminate anxiety when you approach a woman. Sign us up, right? Okay, why thinking in terms of cold approach doesn't work. So this is another freeing thing. I said I want this to be freeing for y'all. We're gonna put that super freeing piece of information in there. And then your next steps to approaching women so easily, you don't even have to think about it. I'm going to give you a concrete, easy next step to do that you can do together while we're here tonight. You don't have to go out and do anything. You can do it, and it's going to move you forward, guaranteed. Then We're going to have a live interactive Q&A, or we're going to continue to have fun together. Okay, guys, how does that sound? Does that sound good? What stands out to y'all the most from this list? Maybe I can spend a little extra time on that one. So let me know, y'all. I'm going to leave this up. Tell me which of these points. You can give me a number if you want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So which number or which thing is most exciting to you? Hi, John in New Hampshire. Hi, Jello. Great. Pronounce Jello. I love that name. First time I've seen that name. That's awesome. Okay. Mark says, transcript. Will there be a transcript available? There will not be a transcript available. So buckle up. Buckle up. Okay, look at y'all putting your numbers in here. Okay, wonderful. David says 4. So why being an introvert is an advantage? Fantastic. Aaron says 5. 3-step process for anxiety. Wonderful. Mark says 2. You love that 4-step approach sequence. Robert says 1. How to know if she's open to you. Sean says 1. Oh, Sten says 1. So 1 is like, oh, they're loving 1, 2, 4, 5. Great. Oh my goodness. Kyler says 3 and 4 and 5. Oh, and Gary says 2 and 3 and 7. Wonderful. Look at y'all. Okay, we say 5 and 8, 2. Look at this. Jesse, pretty much everything I have any idea of, but a second opinion can always be helpful in learning more. Great. Sean says 5. Awesome, y'all. Okay, well, we're just going to hit on all of those things. We're going to get right into it. Okay, let's go. First, is she open to you? In order to tell, and the many of y'all who said 1, Sten, Sean, Robert, okay, we want to be noticing those subtle cues in advance because this eliminates the risk. And how many of y'all want to eliminate the risk of approaching somebody? I'm seeing and imagining a lot of hands raising because listen, makes it much easier if we don't feel like we're out on a limb. So how can you tell? Okay, because here's the thoughts that can be happening in your head, legitimate thoughts. What if she is seeing someone? Do y'all ever wonder that? You're in the grocery store, you see somebody, she seems attractive, you think of approaching her, but you're like, wait a second. I literally have no idea if she's single or not. Do y'all ever have that thought? Yes. Okay. Stephen says yes to something, maybe to that. Yes. Or more than likely, what if you're bothering her? Does this thought happen in y'all's heads? Like you're like, she's literally trying to decide which Parmesan cheese she wants. This is not the time for her to want to talk to somebody. Do y'all ever feel like that? If you do, it's because you're thoughtful and empathetic and you care about the other person, right? Mark says yes. Absolutely. Sean says yes. Right. Yeah, Raj nailed it. Exactly. Afraid of intruding. Totally. Because sometimes things can be intrusive. We don't want to be that way, you know? But then if we hold back always, then we never approach. And so there's the conundrum, right? So, but what do you do? The answer isn't just to barrel forward, right? Tyler says, yeah, I don't want to stress her out. John says, yes, exactly. Y'all are so thoughtful. You don't want to stress somebody out. So let's read her potential openness with ease. Okay. If y'all pay attention, and I want y'all to take notes, okay, write these things down because if you can notice these things, then you will be able to tell what in this world is going on with her and if she is open to you or not. Number 1, is she in a hurry or is she relaxed? If she is in a hurry, you can tell she's moving quickly. She's maybe a little frazzled, a little stressed. This is not the time. I don't care how beautiful she looks. It's probably not the time where you're going to feel comfortable approaching her or where she would say, oh, hello, stranger. let me chat with you. No, she's in a hurry. She probably has to get back to her home to get ready for making dinner, or she's in the middle of her work day. She has to get back. She's in a hurry. So don't approach her if she's in a hurry. But if she's relaxed, well, gosh, maybe she's kind of hoping somebody may say hi to her. Did you know that there are women who go to the grocery store? I'm using that as an example, but many places, who are hoping to meet someone, who are hoping at least to have a positive interaction with someone. If she's relaxed, that's one of the check boxes you need to know if she's open to you. Because if she's relaxed, she's going to be more open in general, including to you. Next, is she frowning or smiling? Okay, if she's frowning, she may not be in the mood to talk to a stranger, or maybe even to anyone. But if she's smiling, or she seems like relaxed and happy, like her face, maybe she doesn't have a big smile if she's looking at the Parmesan cheeses, but she is in a pleasant mood. You can tell by her face. If she's in a pleasant mood, she's going to be much more open to you talking to her. Is she tense, or does she have relaxed breathing? Breathing is a huge sign. If she is tense, then we're not going to want to talk to her, because that's just going to be a train wreck, because then it's going to make her more tense, and then you're going to be tense. It's just crazy. And you're going to be tense before you talk to her and just noticing how tense she is. So we're just going to leave that alone. We're going to talk to a woman who is breathing in a relaxed way. So her body is relaxed. You can tell by how she's breathing. She's not tense. Also, here's where it becomes personal. Is she avoiding you? Definitely pay attention to this. If she is by the cheeses and now you are by the cheeses, does she look at you a little bit and shuffle away from you? If she does this, do both of you a favor and do not approach her. This one thing that you're noticing will really help you to not have bad situations, because if she's avoiding you, she does not want to talk to you. She is moving away from you. She is tense towards you. She does not want that. Or is she over there at that Parmesan cheese? She sees you. You're trying to look at some Parmesan cheese or other kinds of cheese. She's like smiling at you. She kind of likes you. Well, that's a totally different thing. If she kind of likes you, she's happy, she's relaxed, she's smiling at you. For heaven's sakes, do her a favor and approach her if you are also attracted to her. So I'm going to leave this up for a second. Any of y'all have any thoughts about that? Anything that surprised you? Anything that seems clearer now? If she's open in general, and then she's open to you, see, that's when you can feel more comfortable approaching her. And she needs to be checking all these boxes, or at least most of them, certainly when you get comfortable with approaching. If you are not at all comfortable with approaching, you're going to want to have all these boxes checked. If you are very comfortable and you're more sophisticated about it, you're like, okay, she's smiling at me, she's happy, but she does seem like she's in a bit of a hurry. I'm going to go ahead and approach. That's for you to decide. But if you're brand new, then you can let all these boxes be checked. Okay? Perfect. So Erin says, everyone I'm attracted to ends up already seeing someone. So Erin, then we just want to approach more women, because there's lots of single women around you. And it is very freeingly not about luck. It's about consistency, persistence, and an open mind. Yeah? So is this easy? Not always, but is it rewarding when you put in consistent effort and you're doing the right things? Absolutely. Yes. Rush says, how do I know if she's relaxed? So this is where you're going to be looking at her breathing. And if you're not sure how to tell this, just start noticing in your life with everybody. Start asking yourself, are they relaxed or not? Like, you can get to a point where you can see somebody immediately and you can tell if they're relaxed or not immediately. So if you can't tell right now, then you can start asking yourself that. just to see, hey, how's her breathing? How's her body language? Does she seem relaxed? So if she's relaxed, her shoulders are not tense. She's not tense and she's not breathing shallowly and her face is happy. Okay. Happily shy? Yes. So she's shy. She may look at you, but she may not make long eye contact, but she's happy. Okay. Perfect. And Ari wants to do this independently, which is great. That's what you're here for. I'm so happy that you're here. Okay, so that leads us to our 4-step approach sequence, no wingmen needed. Okay, guys? So these are the exact steps that you are going to want to use when you approach a woman. Okay. First of all, y'all, the first step does not have to do with what you say. It does not have to do with anything external that you do. All it has to do with is you are just noticing who you are drawn to. And this builds your confidence because you have standards. You are noticing that. And you are noticing, hey, I feel drawn to this person. I would like to approach them. So Sten asked a question, how do you approach using these things when women here are described as cold and serious by foreigners? So what you're going to do, Sten, is look at it like a continuum, a grayscale. So if on this continuum, the entire population is colder than, let's say, down here in the South in America, then you're going to want to talk with the women who are more open and less cold within that continuum of where you are at. Okay. Now, so back to our 4-step approach sequence. The very first step is to notice who you are drawn to. Out of this room that you're walking into, this establishment, this park, this building, whatever, who do you feel drawn to? Because this is about you being intentional, being honest with your heart of who you feel drawn towards. Then we don't just stop there. We have step 2, which is to make your way towards her. This is very pragmatic because in order to talk to her, we got to move closer to her. We're not going to yell at her from across the way, are we? No. We're going to make our way towards her. Okay, that's a second step. This is important in order to talk to her, which is a later step. Okay, here comes our 3rd step. You will be getting in her line of sight. So I emailed y'all about this earlier today, and now I'm going to talk about it in more detail. So what you do not want to do is notice who you're drawn to, get closer to her, and talk to her before she's even seen you. This can be very jarring and startling. What you absolutely never want to do is touch her from behind when you don't even know her, especially. Never, ever do that. So this is why we want to get into her line of sight where she can see you. If you can make eye contact, even better. But definitely get where she can see you, where you're not coming at her from behind. Then the last step is to say something, and we're going to talk about what to say next, okay? So it's just comforting that out of these 4 steps of how you approach somebody, you don't have to say a peep until the 4th step. How great is that? You don't have to say a single word till you are already, you've decided, hey, I'm drawn to her. Hey, I've made my way towards her. All right, now I'm in her line of sight. Okay, now I'm going to say something. Very freeing. All right, so now what to say? I'm going to give y'all topics that you can always fall back on. Before I do, I want to hear from y'all. What do you think of saying? What do you say? What do you not want to say? What's the first thought that comes to your head when you're like, all right, I was supposed to say something? What? Do y'all have any questions about that? Do you have any thoughts about that? Do you have anything you fall back on? Any thoughts about what to say? Just tell me right up here in this chat. What to say when you first approach a perfect stranger. What do you guys say? What are your questions about what to say? Aaron says it depends on the context, environment. Aaron, fantastic. Yes, sir, it does. Yes, it does. We're about to get into that. Excellent. Raj, very direct. Okay. Does that mean that you like to be very direct? Okay. Sean says, ask about groceries. Okay. Yeah, if it's genuine, for sure. Yeah. David, an opinion on something. Yeah, for sure. That could be a great icebreaker when it's genuine. Yeah. Jesse says, hey, how's it going? Yeah, that can be a great opener sometimes. Sure. Nathan says, hi and my name. Sure, that could be great in a certain context too. Yeah. Ryan, I always comment on the music, her shoes, jacket, smile, and ask about her drink if I'm there. Or the best, I just say hi. Oh, love it. Ryan, you've done this before. Awesome job. Yes, all those are great conversation openers. Perfect. Sten says, make a compliment. Give her a compliment. Yes, can be a great one. Love that boldness. Yeah, love that warmth. Kyler says it often feels high pressure because I don't know a lot about her, so I second guess myself. I totally understand that. You just are not really sure, so you're not sure what to say. So second guessing, especially, listen, right? Being logical, being analytical, that can lead to overthinking for sure. So that's why when you know what to do, you can just put all those extra thoughts into what to do and away from second guessing, which is very freeing. Okay, Gary says, this is one of my major sticking points. I always feel like whatever I say comes across as disingenuous. That is so interesting, Gary. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I think that as you learn what to say that is actually genuine and you feel comfortable with your sexuality too, like sometimes if a man feels uncomfortable with his sexuality and he feels uncomfortable being attracted to a woman, then anything can just feel off because he's not comfortable with attraction. But if you're comfortable with it, it helps everything feel more genuine because it's perfectly natural to open up a conversation with somebody that you feel attracted to. Chris, I did steps 1 through 3 at a folk fest, and she ended up approaching and talking to me. We could feel chemistry before any dialogue. Strangely, look at this. That's beautiful. Yes. Isn't that just such a joy? Sometimes you'll do these steps and then the woman will finish the steps. It's the best. Yeah. Mark says that's my problem at times about the genuineness and the comfort with sexuality. Awesome. Okay. Yeah. So glad you're noticing that, and noticing is the first step, and then we can work on it. And like I said, I promised y'all that step at the end that you can take. That's going to really help you. That will help you with that too. Okay. So y'all are in the right spot. Now, what to say? We have topics. All these topics are negative. I'm just teasing. They're positive. Positive topics. We don't want to say negative topics. That's no fun. We want to say positive topics because not only is it more fun for you, it's more fun for her, and it just helps the connection along. So first is you. There's 3 main topics. The first topic is you. You're not usually going to start with yourself, but you can, especially if you're, like some of you gentlemen mentioned, asking for an opinion, asking for advice. That's for yourself, right? So that's a question that you're making that has to do with you because you want to know. Or it could be a statement, something positive like, you love this place. This place is just the best. You love coming here after work. Or it's a beautiful, day. You love beautiful days. So you're talking about you, something positive. This opens up the conversation. Or you can talk about her. So Sten had mentioned a compliment. That's a great way to talk about her. Y'all can also talk about anything else about her that may not even be a compliment, just an observation, like a book she's reading. Oh, that looks interesting. Sometimes a whole conversation can just start off, somebody's reading a book, old school, I guess, unless it's Kindle or on their phone, then you can say, what are you reading? Of course, maybe she's not reading a book. I mean, I don't know if you can tell if somebody's reading a book or not on the phone. If they have their Nook or their Kindle, then you can tell. And then you can ask what she's reading. Otherwise, if she has a hard copy book, you can comment on the book she's reading. That could have a lively conversation following it. You can comment on what she's wearing. You can give her a compliment about that, or you can just say, wow, it's interesting, or maybe it reminds you of something, whatever it is, as long as it's positive, and you can share something about her or ask something about her. Then the third one is the environment. So, for example, this place has the best lattes, or again, the beautiful day thing, you could just leave it as it's a beautiful day. That stays just about the environment. You can mention anything about the ambiance, the host, the type of event you're at, anything about the environment. There are so many ways to have a conversation, and these are the three big buckets of different topics: you, her, the environment, all positive. Then here are bonus topics. Are you working? Is she working? Is she reading? What did she order? What did you order if y'all are standing in line? You can expand more. So you can ask yourself, if this topic was a wheel hub, what are the spokes of the wheel? So if she ordered a latte, for example, well, you can ask her or comment about that. Is there any flavor in the latte? This is the best place for lattes. What are other good places for lattes? When you travel, is one of your favorite things to try in the new city a latte? There's so many jumping off points. And we have a really good fallback, because some of y'all just said you like to say hi. That's fantastic. You can just say hi. Or if you want like an in-between just saying hi and saying something more, you can say these 10 words that are always true. You can always say, I noticed you and I had to come say hi. Yeah, great. If she's single or not, that's going to brighten her afternoon or evening or day, morning. That covers all of them, right? That's great. It's wonderful that you noticed her and that you had to come say hi. That's great. You didn't say you had to marry her, which is a big step down the line. You just said that you had to come say hi, right? Yes. Oh, I love this question from Zibu Siso. Zibu Siso, am I saying that right? Tell me if I am. How do you become comfortable with being attracted to someone? What a great question. Let's put that in our Q&A. Can you save that? I'm going to mark this as a question. Wait, where did it go? Oh, it saves it in a whole separate area, Q&A. Okay, amazing. That's so awesome. I can just save that. So I saved that for our Q&A time at the end. That's a wonderful question. Chris says, what about asking her advice? Sure, as long as it's genuine. Yeah, hello, good morning. Hello, buenos dias, right? Depending on where you are. I mean, you wouldn't say that in an English-speaking country, but isn't it beautiful sometimes? Do y'all ever think about this, that in different parts of the world, people are saying good morning or they're greeting each other in their native language? I just love that thought. Raj says, would it be creepy to say, I noticed you and I had to come say hi? Well, it depends on how you say it. And it depends on how you're presenting yourself. And it depends on how you feel. And if you feel comfortable with attraction. So if you feel comfortable with attraction, then it's not creepy. If you're uncomfortable, it can feel creepy. I'm going to mark this as a question too, because it goes with Zibu Siso, who says, I did pronounce his name right. Amazing. Jesse says, I've tried it and more than a few have laughed and walked away. I'm going to mark that too, Jesse, because we are going to want to work on that. Ryan says, swinging from the fences. I just had to say, will you marry me? There you go. You can always be playful. It's fun. Mark says, yes, and I'm not sure why, but I love that, Mark. I would love some context. I would love some context because I want to know what you're enthusiastically saying yes about. I love that you said yes. Okay. Ryan, Jesse says, Ryan, something tells me you have success with this line. Yeah, something tells me that too, because he's just being playful. Isn't that the best? It's great. Chris, I feel like some girls will take that as too forward or creepy. I noticed you and I had to come say hi. So it depends on the delivery. It can make a woman's month to be said that too, if I'm using my active and passive voices right, it's a wonderfully bold thing to say. It is bold. It's much less bold to say, hey, have you tried this salsa? You know? So that's why you have many options. Oh, Mark says he's referring to the way people say hi in different locales. Yeah, isn't that just great? It's such a sweet thought. And it happens every day. Love it. Ryan says, is being uncomfortable in an exciting way part of this whole process too? I'm going to mark this as a question. I love it. Raj, how often do women get approached? Does it feel like harassment? Marking that as a question too. You guys just keep the questions rolling. I'm going to keep putting them in our Q&A for the end. I love how many great questions y'all are having. Okay, y'all, now being an introvert is helpful. Can you believe it? Believe it. Your introversion can help you approach women. What? Yes. Here is a story. So here's a client. I'm going to tell y'all how he went from 0 approaches ever to a fun ending. Okay, so he had not approached women. He had felt uncomfortable. The last thing that he wanted to do was come across as creepy or come across in a bad way. He did not want to do any of that. So he just, in the moment, didn't really approach. Furthermore, if a woman seemed interested in him, he would say, well, maybe she's not. I'm probably just reading that wrong. Okay, so he would dismiss when even a woman was trying to show him she was interested. He would just say, well, she's probably not. Well, he started here at Introverted Alpha, and he started listening to all of these teachings, and he would listen to them on repeat, and he would just soak it all in, and then that plus the coaching really helped him start to think of new things, think of things in new ways. So he was at an event one night and he saw a woman across the way, a little bit away, and she seemed beautiful. And he noticed that because he remembered, what's the first step of the approach sequence? Notice who you're drawn to. So he was noticing that. He was going to make his way towards her, but he was in a conversation and was going to finish that, before he made his way towards her. Well, he kept kind of glancing over at her. Well, he saw her smiling at him. And he said to himself, no, she's looking past me at somebody else. Then he said, wait, I'm hearing Sarah's voice in my head that is not likely. What if she is smiling at me? So then he was pretty excited. This gave him the courage to make his way towards her. He was already in her line of sight. She'd already seen him. She already smiled at him. So then he said something. He just started a conversation. I don't even remember about what, but one of the things we just talked about. So they started talking. They really hit it off. They had a great time. She was with a friend and they ended up going to a different place. She invited him to come along. So they had a whole new venue change. He got to know her better. And he got her number. They went on an amazing date. They were texting in between about coffee stuff, fun stuff. I mean, they just had the best time. And it never would have happened if he had not said, well, wait a sec. Let me just do these approach steps one after the other. And where his introversion came in and helped him is he was being introspective. He was being thoughtful. He was using all that beautiful analysis for his good because he had my voice in his head. It doesn't have to do with that. It's my voice. It's just my voice was saying things that were helpful, right? Telling him to, go on ahead and go ahead and talk to her. So his introspective, introverted nature helped him to do that, which is wonderful. And so that's what we want to happen exactly for you too. So be encouraged. Being an introvert is helpful. You have qualities that are already attractive to the right women, okay? Women can sense the man that you are deep down because it just comes through your vibe, which is just so handy because your vibe is great. And as an introvert, you have specifically great things that are unique to you. So you are introspective, which I mentioned about this client in the story. He was too. And so this comes across as thoughtful and considerate. Who doesn't want that? That's wonderful for dating and relationships. Okay, you're authentic, which comes across as strong and confident. Sign us up. That's wonderful. When you're authentic with yourself, it doesn't mean that you're always feeling 100% super confident all the time, but because you're authentic, you're comfortable with yourself, it comes across in a wonderful, strong way because you accept yourself because you're being authentic. You're kind-hearted, which comes across as trustworthy because you want to do the right thing, and that is wonderful. And you're focused because you have that thoughtful introverted nature. You're focused, and this is persistent and it's really potent. Like if a woman feels your focus on her in a wonderful way where you're not manipulating anything, you're not, expecting, oh, she must respond to me this way or I'm going to be upset. You're just focused and present in the moment. That can feel so wonderful for her to have your attention on her like that. And you're also unique. You're your own introverted man. And so this makes you interesting. You're interesting because you are completely unique. And you're also playful. Have a natural, quirky playfulness inside that is super fun and interesting too. And just lovely. So now let's talk about the 3-step process to eliminating approach anxiety. And then we're going to cover even more in our Q&A part because part of this is comfort with your sexuality. But let's just focus on first this awesome, helpful 3-step process. So first of all, guys, if she has a boyfriend, guess what? That's okay. You made her day. You made her day. You made his day. That's totally fine. You can say, that you just bless them. You are happy for him. Great. No harm, no foul. You did not touch her. You did not kiss her. You just said hello to her. That's totally fine. That's number one. Don't worry if she has a boyfriend. It's okay. You're not even really flirting with her. You're just saying hello. You're giving her a compliment that could just be friendly, especially if you're talking about the ambiance or the lattes. Great. You're allowed to talk to her. That's fine. Now, in terms of what to say, keep it relevant and relaxed. So this helps you eliminate anxiety as well. You can be authentic. You can be chill. You can talk about those topics that we discussed, you, her, the environment. This helps you eliminate anxiety because you are just picking something. Many things could be great to say. Many, many things. You don't have to say, oh, let me find the one perfect thing to say. No, many things can be great to say. So just pick whatever is relaxed, relevant, and positive. And then third, remember this. She is never rejecting you at your core because no one is, because you are not rejectable by other people because they don't even know you and your core, and they don't have that authority to just dismiss or reject you because they don't know you. They may be rejecting an experience with you that they don't want to have right then. They may be rejecting an idea of you that they have in this moment, but none of those have to do with the real you deep down. Now, if you're getting a lot of no's and a lot of resistance, we're going to need to look at your approach because we want to make it much better for everyone, for you and for them. But even still, the real core you is not being rejected because no one has that authority but yourself. And if anybody remembers the blog post where we talk about that, how to overcome fear of rejection in 3 steps, drop it in the chat. If y'all don't, I will go find it and drop it in the chat because the way I find stuff on my own site is Googling, which is funny. But that could be a good resource because you cannot be rejected. And that article explains that even more. But so does this. So she cannot reject you because she does not have that authority. So that's so freeing. Okay, so if she has a boyfriend, fine. Keep it relevant and positive and realize you cannot be essentially rejected by somebody else. You can't. Perfect. Now, does cold approach work? Does that work, guys? Let's say, does cold approach work? Let's see. Here's the thing. Nobody wants cold. Nobody wants that. So oftentimes our guys could totally retire that phrase, cold approach. How would y'all feel about just totally retiring that phrase, cold approach, not even worrying about it anymore, just letting it go? We don't need that in our lives. We want warm approach. We're just opening up the way for a connection. In fact, you can drop the word approach altogether. You can just say, opening up the way for a connection, opening up a connection. Okay, so that's just so freeing. It's warm, it's lovely. And think of what a good gift that is to a woman. If you see a woman, you say, I'm going to cold approach her. Oh no, she doesn't want that in her day. That's awful. But if you say, oh, I'm going to open up the way for a connection. If a connection happens, great. I'm just going to open up the way for that. Oh, well, great. That sounds nice. So in your mindset, this can increase your confidence too, to just totally retire that phrase, cold approach. So guys, so far, what is your biggest takeaway? I have your action step ready to go for what to do as your next step here. Before we get to that, tell us in the chat, what is your biggest takeaway so far? And I see these beautiful comments rolling in. Y'all are the most thoughtful. Look at that. Ryan says he's never tried the marriage comment. He's led with if she's wearing a hat with a team on it. There's a game this weekend. So do you want to go? Fun, Ryan. Look at that context clue. Love that. Jesse. Right. It takes time to have the mentality you have. Run with it. Executing with balance. Y'all are so encouraging to each other. That's so sweet. Ryan says, Jesse, it took a while, but it's been freeing. Great. I always enjoy making people laugh and smile. Yes. I've just let it fly with a smile and positive body language. Yeah, it's the way you got to send it. That's right. That's right, Ryan. Love it. Chris, introverts tend to second guess themselves, I think. Sometimes, yes. So that's where you want to harness it. So any strength, it can be taken as like, wait, this is a strength, but it can have a side that you want to get managed, that you want to get a handle on. So all that beautiful thinking you do, you can channel it into thinking the right things that help you. Yes. Oh, you, Jesse and Ryan, this is the sweetest. Perfect. Chris, also practice mindfulness, deep, steady breathing during the approach conversation. Loving that. Yeah. Look at that. Perfect. Okay. Ari says, I normally have anxiety because of public people giving me death stares and judging me. Oh, heavens. Yes. Well, I'm going to Q&A that because we can talk about that. Yes. And a great way to have that mindset, Ari is saying probably about what Jesse and Ryan have been talking about. Mark says the fact that being an introvert can work to your advantage. Yes. Isn't that freeing and wonderful? So wonderful. And John Tavius, thanks for dropping that link. You guys, click that link. That's that fear of rejection with those 3 steps. Thank you, John Tavius. That's wonderful. We love that. Raj says, if she has a boyfriend, you made her day. Yes, I'm so happy that was a takeaway for you, Raj. That's huge. That's awesome. Sean says, after the initial rapport, how to ask for a phone number, ensuring at least in a manner she does not feel the need to walk away in case she's not interested. That's a great question. I'm going to mark that. Ari, own it. People are always concerned with what they don't know. Yeah, you guys are so encouraging to each other. I love that. Great takeaways, great encouragement. Loving all of this. And now, are y'all ready for your action step that will help you tie all this together, make it your own, run with the wind, and approach with ease, okay? Because y'all learned a lot, so how are we going to make it happen? One action step. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to do anything. It's all right here, okay? Amazing. So here's what this action step is. We want to get you set for success in a strategy call with our alpha advocate, Stephanie, who is a delight, an absolute delight, and super excited to talk with you. So just for you, talk with your alpha advocate about your challenges and your next steps. Y'all are going to brainstorm, okay? Y'all are going to see, okay, what in the world is going on with my dating life? Stephanie, can I sit here and tell you about it? Because I have some things going on. She's going to say, yes, I want to know. You'll have a conversation, you brainstorm. She asks you what you want, what it is that you are looking for, what your goals are. Then you'll map out a plan. You'll map out a plan together. The best. And a special bonus for tonight, as a thank you for coming, we want to give you a free gift, which is this. If you talk with Stephanie and you're like, Stephanie, listen here, this program you're talking about, that would be really good for me. I want to do it. You will have an extra bonus session on top of your other coaching sessions of whatever it is that you sign up for. So this is only when you book your call tonight. So I'm going to drop this link in our chat. Okay. So find a time on here. We have several days open for y'all. Book that call and you will get that bonus. So now it's time for our Q&A while y'all book that call. Get in the calendar. There are lots of y'all here, but there's also lots of spots. So you just want to click that and fill that out, answer the questions, and there we go. Perfect. Okay. So now let's talk about what y'all's questions are for your Q&A. All these things I pinned, you'll have such great questions, such great thoughts. So let's talk about that while y'all are booking your call. Okay. So first we have at the very bottom here, we have Ari says, how can I approach women independently? Sometimes I depend on a friend. So how do I feel comfortable doing this, on my own? So for this, all that we cover tonight is you doing this on your own. So you do not need to have, any extra people there that are, helping you out or, you don't need to have any people there that are helping you with approach. Okay, because you can do it just using what we talked about here. So let me know in the chat what additional questions that you have about that. So hopefully that was answered quite a bit through the course of what we covered tonight. But let me know what else you have questions about, Ari, regarding, hey, where's my wingman person? What do I do? So let me know that right there in the chat so that I can know more specifics. Because again, all that we talked about tonight was, hey, this is what you do on your own. You do not need to do anything different than what we talked about, wingman or not. Okay. So, all right. So there's that. Perfect. And then now let's look at our next question. Okie dokie. So our next question from Zebu Ciso, how do you become more comfortable with being attracted to someone? I love this question because it can feel like, okay, wait, I know I'm attracted to this person, but I don't necessarily feel like that's okay. Like, what if they're not attracted to me? Then what happens? And so, that can be a little nerve-wracking because you can feel uncomfortable with approach when you're just not sure if y'all are on the same page. So here's the key. You're not looking for somebody, like, okay, I'm only comfortable with my attraction if they also have attraction to me, because then you're going to be waiting all day because they're, that's not, you cannot know that in advance. That's part of the vulnerability of it. But what you can know is that it's not wrong at all. It is not bad. It is not wrong to feel attraction towards somebody. You can feel attraction to them without asking them to do anything different. You don't need to ask them, oh, now because I'm attracted to you, I need you to be attracted to me. No, you don't necessarily need that. You can let them be free, and you can let them be attracted to you if they are. If they're not, that's okay. And so that freedom really helps you to feel more comfortable, much, much more comfortable with your sexuality and with your attraction towards people. Okay, I'm going to head back into the chat and see what y'all are saying here. Okay, David says, is there an appropriate time to approach women at the gym or a yoga class? Great question. So for that, I'm going to drop a couple links in here, but also some of this too is about just, your own comfort in those venues and just the vibe that you're bringing coming in, like that comfort with your sexuality and that confidence that you have. And so that's what you want to talk about. That's what you want to talk about with Stephanie, to book that call about dating confidently, because it's not always like, oh, if I just know when to approach yoga. Yep, that can be helpful. We have blog posts on that till the cows come home. But what about how you are and your vibe and all of that? So go ahead and find a time here that works for you to talk with us about it, so we can just take a peek under the hood and seeing, hey, is there anything else that we want to look at that can help you feel more comfortable approaching a woman at yoga? So I'm going to put in this blog post that we have about approaching women at yoga, so you can reference that. Okay, and I'm going to drop this link again in about booking your call. So go ahead and do that. That's only when you do that tonight while we're together. We're only going to be together for a few more minutes. And it only includes while we have times available. And I have not refreshed this page, so I'm not sure if they are all still available right now. So go ahead and book your call. And I'm also going to start a little button for that, which I don't fully know what that looks like, but I hope that it would be helpful for you to just click and go right over there. Okie dokie. Okay, so, Ryan says this was incredible. About to drive to a volleyball game. Have an awesome night, everybody. Ryan, thank you so much for coming. Have fun at volleyball. Thanks for popping in. Have fun. Loved your energy. Loved you being here. Thank you so much. Jesse says, David, the best you can do is try to vet them from what she talked about regarding body language and facial expressions, or when she seems to have downtime. Yeah, that's a great tip there. And then, of course, there's a blog post we shared. And then, of course, the best thing you can do is just have that one-on-one, because all y'all can benefit from this from a one-on-one call. Hey, what's your dating life like? What do you need? Let's just solve that together. It may take up to an hour. It may take less if there's not as much to talk about. But go ahead and block that time off tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Monday, or Tuesday. Go ahead and get that in there. Okay, Gary says the topics you mentioned earlier about how to open the conversation. I can do that, but I have a hard time knowing what to say next to keep it going, keep her interested. Yeah, so how do you keep a conversation going? That's a great thing that, first of all, you want to bring up with Stephanie on the phone with her. When you talk with her about this, tell her more of what's going on so y'all can brainstorm of what would be the very best solution for you. Because it's sometimes about, hey, what do I say? But it's sometimes about those deeper things that you can uncover in a one-on-one call. So that's my first thing, is go ahead and get that call booked. As far as where to carry the conversation, you want to flow with, what y'all are naturally talking about, what you're curious about her. So if you can take your attention and put it on what you are genuinely curious about, with what you've already talked about, that can really help with carrying the conversation. And then, of course, you want to be leading it towards the date. So leading that. And if you're not sure how to do that, talk with Stephanie so that she can set you up to know how to do that, because it's a multi-step process that you can get comfortable with once you know what to do. Okay. And Ari says, thanks, Sarah. More like having a wingman. So if anything goes wrong, I can fall back to my wingman so I won't feel so bad. Like just feeling protected from a scary experience. Sure, that can be helpful. You can do that. You can also comfort yourself, you can also be a sweetheart to yourself. And that can be a wonderful skill to build as well. And that's something else to chat about. Like, so all the things y'all are mentioning, write it down so that when you have this call with Stephanie, you can bring that up, because the more that you bring up to her, the more she can help you. Like, okay, here's what you need to do. And again, your bonus is only happening right now while we're talking. So you want to go ahead and go there and book that call right now. Okay. Jesse says, Gary, this is going to be catered to having conversation in general, but it will help look up charisma on command, never run out of things to say. Great. Loving resources. Love those guys. Great. Sten says, dismiss your wingman. Think of it as your own game. Cute. Aaron says, my main issue is where I don't go to bars and grocery stores and focused events for me. Grocery stores are focused events for me where I just want to get the item or items. Okay. So your options here, Aaron, is you could change your focus to having it be that plus meeting people. If you prefer not to do that, then you can meet women in other places. So one of our programs is all about meeting women in person. That's literally what it's about and covers everything top to bottom about that. So that's what you want to bring up to Stephanie so that she can tell you more about that and help you get all set, because it's incredible detail about where to meet women in person. So that is your comprehensive answer. And so do that here. Okay. And Trenton says, it's weird if I date myself. Yep, it's not going to work out. The same. But if you do that, tell us how it goes. Okay. And back to more questions while y'all are booking that call with Stephanie. Perfect. Okay. We have, oh yeah. So Zebu Siso. And I just love your name. And thanks for confirming that I was saying it right earlier. So being comfortable, being attracted to someone, I went over this a little bit earlier. And what you may discuss with Stephanie in your call with her, you might talk about being and feeling sexually attractive. So that is part of the first phase of Launch Your Dating Life, which is our program that's been around for years and has been super helpful for a lot of guys. When you are feeling sexually attractive, you are much more comfortable with your sexual attraction that you feel. So take a note of that. And when you book your call with Stephanie, bring that up to her. Hey, would this be helpful for me? And once you share more about your situation, she can help you determine if that would. Because when you feel sexually attractive, it really helps you to feel comfortable with your sexual attraction. That's a process that we help you with. Okay. Jesse, I've tried it. More than a few have laughed and walked away. Okay, right. So what's going on here, Jesse, is that you may not be feeling at your best, presenting at your best. So if people have laughed and walked away, what that means is there's an awesome opportunity for improving your vibe and how you're coming across and your presentation, your body language, your tone of voice, your grooming, all of this. In Launch Your Dating Life, which is the program I just mentioned, your very first call with your coach, you send her pictures of your of you. One close up of your face, one of your whole body, and a few others. And she tells you what's already working well and what to improve. When you make these improvements, you will be coming across different, and women will feel that and they'll just experience you totally differently. And you won't have to experience that painful outcome. Because once your presentation is great, even if they say no or they're not interested in conversation, they're not going to laugh. So that shows me that there's a wonderful opportunity for you to grow. And so you're definitely going to want to find that time to talk tonight so you can get that bonus session So any of these times, and if y'all are like, hey, there's this day works, but not this time, just type that in the chat and I'll look in our back end and see, hey, is there any other times we can open up for you? But there should be a good time for y'all right in there. And it's just 1 hour, one time. If you end up doing coaching with us, then we'll find another time that works perfectly with your schedule on an ongoing basis. Okay. Ryan says, is being uncomfortable an exciting way part of this whole process too? To me, it's the same feeling of getting to the top of a black diamond ski run and you just have to send it. Oh, I love that. Yeah. So if you can embrace the feeling of being uncomfortable, if you can help that to just feel exciting for you, that really, really helps. That's a mindset that's going to really help you to grow and to approach more women and to just have fun. So you want to do that on a foundation of knowledge and comfort with approaching people. So, you want to feel like, okay, you know what to do so that you're not just going crazy or spaghetti against the wall. But then you're going to feel some level of discomfort because it's exciting. It's different, right? So then but it will be on a foundation of confidence and skills, which is great. Okay, Raj says, how often do women get approached? Does it feel like harassment? It can feel like harassment if the person is not doing what we went over tonight, and if his vibe and his way about him it has a lot of room for improvement. Then it can feel like harassment. So as long as you're self-aware and you are being and feeling sexually attractive, which we cover, and definitely talk about that with Stephanie. Any concerns about that, because then it will not feel like harassment. It'll feel like you just made her day. You made her day. Okay. Now let's do more Q&A. We have more. Okay. So Ari says, what's the best way to ask or make a woman? Well, we're not going to make anybody do anything, but we can ask for her to remove her mask. Looks are important to me, and I want to know if she's right for me from the start before investing my time in her. Okay, so you can see a lot about her even with her mask on. And what's wonderful about people is that they're so interesting, and everybody is a soul, that you can get to know. And if you're connecting with her, you're clicking with her, and she seems beautiful from what you can see, then it's just a fun adventure to know her more. You're going on one date. You're not investing your life in her, right? You're going on one date, and this can help to open your heart and make you more loving and accepting and curious about people, which then makes you more attractive yourself as well. So, but that's definitely a good thing to bring up too in your call with Stephanie, so that she can help you to say, okay, what's the way that I can have this, this mindset in the best way possible to help me attract the right women for me, where my heart is open and I'm excited to meet people. And I also know that I'm using my time well. Okay, guys, just a few more minutes to book your call. I see a couple more invites coming in. That's awesome. So amazing, guys. We cannot wait to talk with you. Stephanie cannot wait to talk with you. Everybody else, get your calls booked because we're about to wrap up. So go ahead and finish that up. There's a few questions in there. Once you click on it, the funny thing is when I click on it, if I click on one of these, it's going to show all my events that day, which is a little personal. So I'm not going to do that. But once you click on it, it's weird because it ties to them with my calendar and it just shows all my stuff. So when y'all click on this, it's going to open up times on the side. You pick the time that you want, and then that time that you want, you book it, then you answer a few questions after. Okay. But go ahead and do that. Go ahead and click your time now, find your time, because there are a few questions and your call needs to come through while we're talking for you to get that bonus. Okay. So go ahead and do that now. I see a couple have come through just now, and I want to have all y'all talking with her. There's plenty of times and days. Let's get y'all all set. Okay. Now, Sean. All right. After the initial rapport, how to ask for a phone number, ensuring at least in a manner she does not feel the need to walk away in case she's not interested. Great question. So once you've built an initial rapport, you want to ask for her phone number. Once you see that there is some interest, not just in the great conversation going on, but in her proximity to you, that her being close to you, you being close to her is fun for her. I'm going to put in seamless steps, number, introverted alpha. We have a blog post that goes in a little more depth about this. But the thing is that just like with all the other things, if your other steps, if the confidence and the ease and all that can use improvement, this becomes so easy and natural. So here's some steps that I'm going to send y'all right here. This is a blog post to answer your question in more detail, Sean. But there's nothing like just that personal feedback for you of, okay, I'm going to make sure that with my vibe and how I'm coming about this, no woman ever needs to walk away from me again. Like if somebody's walking away from you, that's like with the thing with Ari too. Like if somebody's laughing or they're walking away, we need to have that never happen again, like ever. Because maybe not everybody wants to go on a date with you, but they shouldn't be laughing or walking away. If that's happening, we need to get on the phone and figure out what's going on so we can fix it. Because you should not have to be dealing with that. Okay. You just should not. It should not be something that you need to deal with. Okie dokie. Raj says, I'm afraid of getting a bad reputation on campus from talking to women. So how do I do that without getting a bad reputation? So you want to be talking with a lot of different people, not just women that you find attractive, because this shows that you are just curious to just connect with people. Like you're just a friendly guy. If you're zeroing in, if you're lasering in, if you're staring down all the women that you find attractive and you're ignoring everybody else, that will feel creepy, not only to them, but to you. But if you're just friendly with everyone, then that's a good reputation. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now, perfect. Oh, Sean says, wow, thanks. You are so welcome, Sean. My pleasure. Okay, guys, any final thoughts or questions? I am seeing some exciting calls coming through. We cannot wait to talk with y'all. We really cannot. We're excited. Wonderful. Okay. And two, once you guys let us know that you want to talk with us, then what we'll do is say, okay, is this something that is there something that we can help you with? Is this something that you really want to invest in yourself in? Awesome. If not, we'll just send you to the best resources for you based on where you're at. So when you fill out your questionnaire, that's how we'll determine what to do. Okay. So Trenton says that, okay, you've been dating a single mom, but it's hard to get time with her because her emotions with her child's father are having issues. Okay. So Trenton, what you may do, it sounds like she's in a really challenging spot, that there's a lot of drama challenges going on. It's possible that you may like to open up your options to women who have more of a smooth sailing, that they've dealt with those challenges with their child's father, because then you can just really enjoy getting to know her, and it does not interrupt y'all's time together. If that's interrupting your dates just being scheduled, what else will it interrupt in your life? So you can consider, is that something I want? Do I even want to have that challenge? Because it's your choice. You're not the child's father's godfather, you're not involved by necessity. So you can really choose, okay, what is it that you want? What do you want? Okay. And you may be really attracted to her, but are you attracted to that lifestyle? Are you attracted to just that feeling of potential drama there? Yeah. Okay. All right. And Kyler says, thank you for sharing this. It's helpful. Okay, perfect. You are so welcome. You are so, so welcome. Okay, and guys, anything else? I also want to say too that the y'all who have booked your call, thank you so much. And if you can also fill out that little call prep form too. I see one of y'all has filled it out. That's awesome. Yes, there should be a call prep form that y'all will be filling out. It should be on that confirmation page that you guys had. But let me just make sure and just drop it in the chat so y'all can fill that out. Okay, here we go. Because this is important to have this filled out before our call so that we can know you better and know know what you need, know how to help you. Okay. Okay. So here's this call prep. This is just for y'all who booked a call. Make sure y'all fill this out. I see one of y'all has, which is great, but I'd love for all y'all to fill this out tonight, while we're here together. Okay. All right. So go ahead and fill this out, grab this link. And then if you haven't booked your call, go ahead and do that as we wrap up. Kyler, you are so welcome. It's my pleasure. Ari, you are so welcome. It's my pleasure. Guys, thank y'all so much for being here. I loved being with all of y'all tonight. You had such great thoughts and questions. I love it. And excited for y'all to implement, excited for y'all to talk with Stephanie, and excited for all that's ahead for each of y'all, and loving that you have your bonus session all set. And again, go ahead and fill that call prep out now. I'll get an email when it comes through. So if you booked a call and haven't filled out the call prep, go ahead and do that right now. Just click that link. So I'm seeing, okay, perfect. So Trenton, call booked, amazing. And Trenton, I see that you filled out that call prep, which is perfect. Okay. Yes. Okay. It's so good that you are here. Just based on what you're sharing here, I'm looking at what you shared here. So Trenton, you may get a clarification email from us about like, hey, is this something that you want to invest in support with? And especially if, well, I don't want to be too public with what you shared. I will email you or Sandy will email you about what you shared here. It's really, really good stuff. And I want to get clarity about it. James says, if I can't afford the coaching, can I still qualify for the call? So James, in your, in the call prep that you'll fill in afterwards, you'll answer questions that have to do with that, and where you're at, what you want to invest in right now versus like if you're, what kind of space you're in, and then based on that, we'll decide what's the best steps for you. Because we want you to be able to have this call when you're ready to really talk about a strategy. And so, that can only happen when you're like, okay, I'm ready to put myself into this and I'm ready, to get that kind of support. If not, still book the call, because what we'll do is we'll send you other options that you can choose from that are a better fit for where you're at financially. So if you're just simply not able, you're just not in that place, then let us know so that we can send you other options. Okay, and I'm just going to check too if everybody's filled out that call prep, who booked a call. That's super, super important. So let me just check that real quick and see. Okay, so like I said, Trenton, thank you so much for filling that out. That's amazing, super, super helpful. And let's see who else filled it out. Okay. We need a few others of y'all to fill it out, especially if we haven't talked to you before, so that we can know you and your situation better. So again, if you booked a call and you have not filled that out yet, go ahead and fill that out. Okay. And Aaron says, I've talked to you before. Still can't afford it. I wish I could have a live in-person coach. Okay. So, as you know, here, all of our guys get their amazing results and their girlfriends and their confidence and everything from our online programs. So you can be anywhere and benefit from that. And that's how we've done it for almost 8 years. And that's how it works here. So that's what that's about. So, what you may like to do is check out the audio testimonials and those interviews, as well as the video interviews too, just to hear what it's been like for other guys, and then just save up, or talk to us about different options. Just email us and be open. The more open you are, the more we can help you. Okay, Ari says, just curious, do you have any tips to make her remove her mask? No, because we want to be really super respectful for her. And if you want to invite that for her, you can say, hey, you know what? You seem beautiful. I'd love to see your whole beautiful face. Can you show me your face if you're comfortable? But only really once you have so much rapport, and really that's going to be natural on a first date. If y'all are having coffee, she's going to pull down her mask anyway. So this way you're not pressuring, and you're valuing her soul, and you're excited to connect with her as a person. And so, there's no pressure or anything like that. Okay. Wonderful. So, okay, perfect. I saw another call prep come through. Thank you so much for that. That's wonderful. So we still have just a few more. Go ahead and fill out that call prep. We want to see where you're at in your situation so we can take the best care of you possible. Okay. Yes. And then anybody who has not booked your call yet, go ahead and book it. And like some of y'all said, hey, what if my finances are not at the place they need to be for me to work with y'all? Then just tell us in your call booking or your call prep form, and then we'll just find the best solution for you. So it may not be coaching right now, maybe something else. But when you tell us and you're open with us, that's when we can help you. Okay, so I'm going to share that call prep link once more because I want y'all to go ahead and get that all situated. Okay, let's get that in here. Okay. So go ahead and fill this out. If you booked a call and you haven't filled that out, fill that out so that we have it. A couple of y'all have, and I appreciate that. Everybody else needs to, so you can all be on the same page, and so that you can have that extra session on top of whatever you end up deciding to join, and we can be all set. Okay, guys, I think you'll have all your links. There's that link. There's this link to book your call. Perfect. So you have both the links that you need to get all set. And again, this is your one action step. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to do anything tonight. You just book this call and fill out this call prep. That's all you need to do. So Stephanie cannot wait to talk with you, and I'll email y'all if I have any questions or anything that we need to know. Me or Sandy will email you about that before your call with Stephanie, just to make sure that this is the right time for y'all to be having a call. We will email you and open up that dialogue. And I can't wait to see y'all soon. I can't wait to hear how your call with Stephanie goes. I can't wait to hear success updates, and thank you all so much for being here tonight. Have an awesome night. Bye, everybody.